It will just be like another flu or a cough or a fever.
Would you recommend the vaccine for other people?
And my stomach starts churning, starts getting butterflies in my stomach.
Hello, everyone. Today we're gonna talk about the Chinese vaccine. I have a friend who have recently was inoculated with the vaccine, and I'm gonna invite him to join and talk about his experience. So my first question, why did you decide to take the Chinese vaccine or vaccine in general?
Well, I work here in the educational sector, so we got a notice from. I work under the Shanghai University at the Shanghai Vancouver Film School. So we got a notification from our administrative department asking us if we would like to take part in this the first wave of vaccines, because that was the first wave when it came in, and they were mainly targeting the frontline workers, and they were targeting people in the educational sector. So they asked us, because we were foreign instructors working here in Shanghai, they didn't say it was mandatory. They said you can take it or you can choose not to take it. It's your consent. So they did give us a form which was in Chinese, but it was translated to English as well, which contained all those terms and conditions of what I will be signing up to, and which showed what is going on, what is the process, what am I signing for, and what is the vaccine, all those details were given in that form. So it was optional. It wasn't mandatory, but I decided to take it either way because, if not now, I will have to take it at some point either way. So I decided to take it when someone is actually offering you, because I know a lot of people were waiting in line to get the vaccine, and now there's an opportunity to take it. So I decided to go for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you actually are in this risk group, right? Considered to be.
Because I'm an instructor and I'm in the educational sector. Yeah, we were considered to be in that first wave of
Mm-hmm.
vaccine doses. Yeah.
Okay. Do you work with children?
No, I don't work with children. I mainly work with, because it's a film school, our age group is somewhere in the range of 18 to 25, 30. Yeah, but it's basically all 18 plus.
Okay. So it's
Yeah.
still like you could be potentially dangerous for them, right?
And especially for foreigners who are teachers, they didn't want to take that risk of foreigners would travel, and then if they come back, they might have to quarantine
Mm-hmm.
again, because now, in China there's also certain quarantine zones, certain places if you go to, you'll have to quarantine upon return. So if you go to another city, and if that place is on a high risk area, then when you come back to your own hometown city in China, where you don't have much of a risk, but you still have to go through a quarantine period, which means now that's going to affect your work. So all those factors considering, they thought, okay, we will have to include these foreign instructors as part of the first wave of COVID vaccines, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I didn't travel. I don't travel. I didn't travel, during the COVID period, and even now I didn't do much of traveling except for just within Shanghai. So, but
Mm-hmm.
I decided to take it either way.
Do you know if you travel to from high risk zone, you can skip quarantine with the vaccine?
Well, that was recent. So I got my vaccine shot, I think almost about 2 months ago. That was when the first
Mm-hmm.
wave of vaccines came in. So
Mm-hmm.
during that time, they still didn't have that rule in place where if you went to another city after getting the vaccine, you could skip that whole quarantine part. No,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
you still had to quarantine. That was back then. I don't think that rule was in place yet, because the effectiveness of the vaccine is still a question, which even
Mm-hmm.
they informed us in that consent form, that even though you have the vaccine, it's not a guarantee that, oh, you cannot contract this virus again,
Mm-hmm.
because no vaccine right now has 100% effective rate against containing the virus.
So the
Yeah.
Chinese vaccine is done in two shots, right?
Yeah, it's done in two shots. So you get your first shot, and then 14 days later, you will be called in for your second shot. That's how it works.
Hmm. So the main question, how do you feel now?
I feel great. I don't feel any difference at all. I mean, there were a lot of, I think during that first wave of vaccine, a lot of the other countries were taking the vaccine too. And there were a lot of news that was going around, or at least I heard a lot of people talking about the side effects of taking off the side effects you would have the day you got the vaccine shot. But
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I didn't have I didn't have any side effects at all. I just felt a little bit sleepy when they after taking the vaccine, but after that it was yeah, I was perfectly fine. Yeah.
Okay. So before taking the vaccine, did you get to know all the side effects, potential side effects? Like,
Oh yes, it was clearly mentioned of the potential side effects on the form that we had to sign
hmm
off. All the consent form
hmm
we had to sign off. The side effects of the vaccines were listed out,
hmm
and you're signing up for that, right? So some like I took with some of my colleagues at work. So when we got to the hospital, got the shot, and then you have a waiting period of 30 minutes right after you get the vaccine shot. You cannot leave right after you finish getting the shot, because
hmm
that 30 minutes right after you finish, right after the shot, is when you will have some sort of a side effect, or at least you will have a primary indication of if there are any side effects in your body. So they will ask you to wait for 30 minutes, and
hmm
then after 30 minutes, if it seems like you're okay, then you can leave. So that's how it was. So one of my colleagues, he felt like the hand, like we get the vaccine shot in our like arm here, right?
hmm
So he said that he had some sort of a tingling feeling, like something like a ticklish feeling. You know, when your
hmm
hands get really cold and then it gets numb, and then when it gets warm again, it feels like, oh, some sort of a tingling feeling. So that feeling was there for his arm, but I honestly didn't have anything at all. For me, it was just normal. It's a very quick process. They come, you sit down, because there's so many people waiting in line to get the shot. They don't. It's not like you book an appointment, you wait, and then you go to the doctor. Doctor asks you how you are. No, none of that. There are all these different rooms inside the building where they have just one person sitting and a refrigerator with the vaccines, and they will come. You sit down on the chair. They will take a brand new vaccine bottle, and they will show you the expiry date, that to make sure that it's not an expired vaccine. They will show you, look, this is the vaccine we're giving you. It's from this company. This is the expiry date. I'm opening it in front of you. They will say all that. And they open it in front of you, a brand new package. They take out a brand new needle. And then they take the vaccine and the needle, and they will ask you which arm. So it's either your left or right. And you know to show that arm, give you the shot, and that's it. You're done.
Which vaccine did you take? I mean,
I got the Sinopharm vaccine. I
Sinopharm.
took the
Okay.
Sinopharm.
Did
Yeah.
you have any other options?
No, I think that was the only option at the time. I don't know now if they do, because I yesterday, it's good that you asked this question. Yesterday, I got another notification in my work group saying that there's a second wave of the next wave of vaccine shots are being distributed now. So people who couldn't get it on the first wave, you can do it on the second wave now. But since I already did, I didn't sign up for it. But I'm not sure if for the second wave if they have option of choosing which vaccine you can take. But back then,
Mm-hmm.
no. Back then, it was just Sinopharm for everybody, I think. At least from the place from where I got, it was all Sinopharm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So can
Yeah.
you list out some side effects, like you remember?
Well, some of the common side effects that was mentioned was you might have headaches, you might have diarrhea problem. So they ask you not to eat spicy food on the day that you eat spicy food or any dairy products on the day that you have taken the vaccine. Yeah, and they were saying that you cannot work out or take a shower, which I'm not sure why, on that day of getting the vaccine shot. just because they could have some itchy feeling after that, or you might feel like your skin is going numb. But yeah, some of these were the common effects that was mentioned. I can't remember all of them, but these were a few of
Hmm.
them.
Any severe side effects? Like, I don't know.
Well, the worst that can get is if you get all of these things together, I think. Like the headache, the diarrhea, you might have breathing problems right after getting the shot, and your hands again going numb. All of these together would, I think, would be considered the most serious side effect. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that has been reported yet, or at least not that I'm aware of. People who are there were so many people the day I went to get the vaccine, and there was so many people waiting in the waiting room. They had like 4 waiting rooms, and they were all filled. Some of them you couldn't even sit down, even though there was a seating capacity of 50 people. It was full, and people had to stand. So there was tons of people around. I don't think anybody had a side effect like that. You know, I personally, like I said, after getting the vaccine, 30 minutes there was no problem, but then after 30 minutes, I just felt really sleepy. I won't even say sleepy. I just felt tired, and I just, if I lay down, I could have slept quickly. That was it. But that was not a long lasting effect. It was just there for about an hour or two, and then it was gone.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you uh, like your school organized trip to do vaccine.
Yes, exactly. The school organized. So when you get the form, they will give you have to take that signed form, the consent form, with you to the hospital. From my school there was a bus that took, because we come under Shanghai University, there was a lot of people who could sign up for this vaccine, and they will take a bus to there, and then the bus would just drop you off, but then you'll have to find your way back.
So you said that wasn't a hospital.
So it was not a hospital. It was basically a building that was turned to be a hospital. I think because when we went there, it didn't look like a hospital. It was just big building. There was a separate reception area where you have to go show your passport, give them the consent form, and there were so many of these different rooms where they had, like I said, a refrigerator with all the vaccines, and then they had a doctor who was sitting there, like a nurse who was sitting there to give you a shot.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you know now to get the vaccine? I mean, as a foreigner.
Well, right now, I think you actually have a separate form. I read it recently on a post saying that there's actually a link, like a website link, where you have to sign up first,
Mm-hmm.
and then there is a waiting period. But once you sign up, you're on the list. And then once the turn comes, once a slot arrives, they will send you notification along with the consent form, and then you have to sign that up, and you can go to the hospital that they're telling you, and you can get your shot.
Did they tell you in this consent form, like, how long the vaccine is effective?
Oh, good question. I do remember that they told us that, but I don't remember what was the time period now. Sorry.
As I know, it's half a year.
I think so
Like,
too. I think it's 6 months too. So far, I've been taking all precautions even without the vaccine, for against COVID, and gladly and fortunately, I've been safe so far. So I'm not sure if I will take the vaccine again after it, but if if there is a choice and if there's an option, sure, why not? I would.
mm-hmm. Okay. Did you have to pay for the vaccine or the school paid?
For us, the school paid for us. The school paid for for both the vaccine shots for us instructors. But I think when you are registering outside as a person, you might need to pay. But I'm not aware of what the actual price is for the vaccine. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any like allergies or some special health conditions in general?
Not really. No. I do get travel sickness if I eat or drink anything dairy related, and if I'm traveling right after that, then I get sickness, and my stomach starts churning, starts getting butterflies in my stomach. But otherwise, I do not have any allergies whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not lactose intolerant. Like I said, it's only during travel. Like if I'm
Only.
just normally working every day and I'm having anything with lactose, there's no problem at all. But only when I'm on a moving vehicle, like a car or a plane or a ship, anything moving vehicle, and I'm having something dairy before that travel, then I get a little bit of sickness.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you recommend the vaccine for other people?
You know what? Here's the thing. I just look at it this way. I say, look, either ways, at some point, you have to get the vaccine, regardless of what the effectiveness rate is. You have to get it. And right now, we have. I think it's a big step forward in the direction of preventing anybody or people from contracting the virus. So
Mm-hmm.
if it's a step forward, like I said. So I think everybody should take that step forward, regardless, because you need to get this vaccine at some point. So I would definitely recommend everybody to get the vaccine shot wherever whichever country you are, because this is needed, right? We're working towards a time when we won't have to worry about COVID anymore. It will just be like another flu or a cough or a fever, where, oh, I just got fever, I'm sick for a few days, now I have to go to the doctor, take medicine, and that's it. It's gone. It should be a talk like that, and not something that people should fear, like it's going to kill me and it's going to cost my life. So I would definitely recommend everybody to take the vaccine.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
just maybe might be individual, so different
Yeah,
people might go towards the same vaccine.
exactly. And I think there's so many companies right now that are there. Like there's India, Russia, there's American, then China. There's so many countries making vaccines right now. But regardless, I think there's also a group of people who get into the theme of, okay, I'm only going to take this vaccine, this brand. I mean, come on. Right now, I think pretty much every other vaccine is in that first phase where nobody is 100% effective. Okay, so you have to get a shot to prevent you to improve your immune system. That's the whole idea, right? It's just improving your immune system and making it more resistant to contracting this virus. So you
Mm-hmm.
should definitely take it. It doesn't matter what the brand is. I mean, I honestly don't care if I got Sinopharm or anything else. Like they showed me, and they showed me what Sinopharm. But
Mm-hmm.
even if I did have an option to select something else, I wouldn't know. I would just say, yeah, give me the best one ever, the best one you think is good in your personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if you do a lot more research, they would say that, oh, this vaccine is a lot more better. But come on, if it's not 100% effective, then every vaccine is on that same page. If one vaccine is 100% effective in preventing or the contraction of this virus, then I can say, okay, I want that one.
All
So
right.
yeah.
Did you get any vaccination certificate, like
No,
passport?
no, no. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, that, yes, yes. So I think that came in after a month after getting the vaccine shot. So after you finish both the shots of the vaccine, then after a month, they will give you a certificate saying that you got this particular vaccine of this shot on this date, and the second shot you got it on this date, and you get a government seal. And basically, that's like I think it's for travel. So if you're traveling to a place, you can show that to tell the other country or the other place that you got vaccinated.
Is it a paper,
Yeah.
right?
It's a paper. It's a paper that looks. I don't know if I have it here. I think I have it here. Hold on. So it looks like this. And it says vaccination certificate, right? It
Mm-hmm.
says vaccination certificate, and then there you go. It's a SARS-CoV-2, and then the Beijing Institute of Biological Products. That's the Sinopharm vaccine, and it shows the date when you got it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the clinic, which is the place you got it, and there's the seal, official seal.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I heard you can get it like also online. You'll have some information on WeChat, same as the green
I think
code.
so. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think if you on WeChat you can get that same thing. You can get that. You can get a digital certificate of this vaccine shot. I think you can. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't looked into that yet because I already got this paper certificate. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you can.
Okay. Any other things to tell to other people?
Well,
Because
if you want to know, I don't know if this is relevant, but I did have an interesting moment on the second shot of my vaccine. Was that when I was getting my second shot of the vaccine after 14 days, uh,
hmm
I sat down and then the doctor, the nurse, so she was going to administer me the vaccine. And she took out the brand new bottle. She showed me the expiry date. She did all that. And then she took the bottle and she was filling it. But then I think when before she was going to put the needle in my hand, she accidentally pushed the needle a little, and some of the vaccine just came out, like 2 or 3 drops just came out of the
really,
needle. So immediately she was like, "Oh, oh, oh no!" She did something wrong, and she didn't know what to do because the entire vaccine has to go into the hand. And then she called another nurse, 2 nurses, and then they were discussing on okay what to do. And then they called the head nurse to figure out if they should throw this bottle and give me a new bottle. And the head nurse said, "No, it's okay. It was just 1 or 2 drops. You can give him the same thing." But they were actually, I think it's good because they were going to the extent of actually throwing that and giving me a brand new bottle. So it wasn't like, oh, it doesn't matter how much goes in. Like some people, I think they might not care about, oh, well, 2 3 drops went off. But I think it was really nice of their part to actually take that seriously and discuss it, and then come to a solution on what to do if such an incident happens.
they lost 3 drops, and they have to throw the whole bottle, right?
Yeah, but they didn't. Honestly, it was just 2 drops. Like the bottle
Uh,
is this big. This is this big of a bottle, and then they lost 2 drops from it. Just 2 tiny drops. It doesn't make much of a difference, honestly. That's what the head nurse told me. Is that no, it doesn't make a big difference. If they lost like half the bottle or something, then yeah, okay. But 2 tiny drops, no, it's not a big difference. So they still gave me that same bottle, but she was
mhm.
just the nurse who was administering it was a little bit worried. I don't think she came across a situation like that before, so she started panicking a little. Yeah,
Okay, thank you so much for time and sharing your experience.
no problem. Thank you. It's my pleasure. Yeah,
Uh,
you should go get
hope
your
we all.
shot now.
What?
You
I
should
can
go
get my
get your
shot now.
vaccine shot. Yeah, go register and get your
Okay.
vaccine shot. Don't wait for your favorite brand.
Yeah, I'll think about it. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I will
Yeah,
end
you're
this now.
welcome. Thank you.
Okay. Bye. Have
All right. Have a good weekend. Bye bye.